the challenge of price inflation and as general challenges go, they are also opportunities. And I think the broader context here is the opportunity for the loyalty world to disrupt itself or to relook and reinvent various dimensions of the loyalty proposition. As you put it, as prices inflate, customers and consumers are going to look for added value. And the question then becomes, what can the loyalty proposition offer as additional value to these consumers and to these customers? And there are multiple ways I think we can deliver that, or look at how we can deliver that. But I think it's a great opportunity for loyalty programs to see how customers can be re-engaged in a slightly different way. And this is where, again, I'm a great believer in the loyalty ecosystem, where it is perhaps a challenge for one loyalty program to continue to be standalone in its own right. But the power of partnering with other loyalty propositions or other loyalty programs can bring added value to consumers and to customers. So I think as much as it is a challenge in terms of price inflation, it is also an opportunity for us to reinvent the different aspects of our loyalty propositions.
I will say we have luxury hotels. Very much all audiences are affected by inflation or economic turmoil. So, but in different ways. So I would say, if anything, I think consumers will be more deliberate with their purchases. I feel like they're still going to travel. I think they still need that. After several years of being restricted of that, they went all in 2022. I think in 2023, same thing. People are wanting to see more and experience and get out. So if anything, they're going to maybe have higher expectation of a true experience when they do spend their money. So it's not that in my opinion, I don't think they're going to not take the trip. I think they're still going to go to a luxury hotel if they choose to. And I think they're still going to spend that money. They spent twice the ADR this year, and they were spending the money. I think they still will, maybe not the same level, but then they're just going to expect it to be a true experience. If they're getting out, they're going to make sure that ideally, I think their expectation is that they'll be treated well, that they'll see exciting things, that they'll have the experiences that will give them the memories and something different than their day-to-day. I think that's going to be good for the luxury segment. In terms of, discounts and everything, that's always been the number one, or it continues to be we did some research recently, and that was the number one that customers are looking at from loyalty programs. So tying that to, again, the financial aspect of loyalty programs give you discounted rates. So right there is a reason to join the loyalty program. If you weren't going to, then loyalty is a reason to make sure you have the best value of that. If you're going to purchase whatever it is, make sure you get that member rate. And then if you're part of the CRM, if you're part of the email, then the email list, then you can also be getting, 40% exclusive offers. All those different sales happen very often if you're a loyalty member. So again, it goes back to we're in a good space that if people care, if they're price sensitive, or if they are looking for better value so that they can make their dollar stretch further, again, loyalty is a good excuse to get them in and say, we're going to help you get there.
It's important to both retain previous or existing customers and go after new ones. I think, particularly if we're in tune with a lot of different cultures, in Japan, for example, a lot of customers will rarely complain. They'll just take their business elsewhere. So unless you're focusing on constantly trying to make sure that you're keeping the customer happy, you won't really know if they're upset. You'll just see their share of wallet drop. So it really depends. I think, there's a lot of money to be made, I think, in keeping your existing customers happy and spending more, by making them feel valued, by making them feel rewarded, by making them feel that the loyalty program serves a benefit to them, that they want to continue to engage with you. And at the same time, we have to be wary of the fact that customers are changing, that you can't look at a business traveler as being a 40 or 50 something white man anymore. I mean, a lot of the consumer demographics have changed, and so we have to find ways to remain relevant to new consumers, new customers who are not just traveling for business, but you have leisure, which of course is an exploding demographic as well in the travel industry. You have millennials and Gen Z who are much more focused on sustainability in Europe. in particular. So how do we appeal to them? I mean, we've had customers come tell us, millennial customers tell us, I'm a platinum customer, I like the benefits, I like the program, I feel rewarded, but I don't want to be recognized as a platinum customer when I'm traveling with my friends or family because I'm embarrassed, because it means I travel a lot and I'm embarrassed about my carbon footprint. So for us, that's a difficult problem to solve. How do we remain relevant? How do we continue to attract this customer, keep this customer happy when they don't want to be recognized in the same way? It's whereas historically that was always what they wanted. They wanted more recognition. So customer demands are changing, and if we're not able to predict and respond to and cater to those new and changing demands, we're going to be at a loss. So I think going forward, it's really important to both keep existing customers happy as well as find new ways to engage new customers who might be less brand loyal, and that's what studies are showing us.
At the Radisson Hotel Group, we are proactively working to ensure the continued profitability for our hotel owners in this current environment. We are working in partnership with our supplier on ways to mitigate the cost increase in the supply chain, including optimizing labor cost, adapting new innovations focusing on cost optimization and digitalization, but also localizing the supply chain to minimize imports and foreign exchange fluctuation, especially with the current macroeconomic and political scenario. Redefining also our internal operational SOP. This it's something very, very important to adapt to the hotel delivery requirements. Traveling remains a self-indulgent service. Customer trends are considering it as a well-being activity. So we consider that despite the environment, Radisson Reward will continue to be top of mind of our members and the key decision maker when it's time to choose hotel. The trend are showing also an increase of leisure travels in our properties. And for example, Radisson Hotel Group is offering also an incredible portfolio of resorts in the most exclusive locations around the world. So we really think that even if the wallets might be under pressure, but we are still in a fully post-pandemic period where we even see certain area of the world that you are talking more and more, not only on coming back to travel, but to revenge traveling.